This is John Colo with OKRaw.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, I'm going to share with you guys why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast. Now, of course, these are my opinions on this topic. And why should you listen to me? Well, I'll explain who I am right now. So my name is John Kohler, and I got into a raw vegan diet back in 1995 for my health. I almost lost my life due to spinal meningitis. I was hospitalized, got out of the hospital, knew I needed to build my immune system somehow, and I got into juicing and raw foods at that point. I basically never looked back, although within the last maybe 4 years, I started including small amounts of heat processed foods. Links down below in my videos to learn more about that. All cooked foods aren't toxic like some raw vegans would like you to believe. And the other thing is that I started selling juicers because I saw how much juicing has helped me. I started selling juicers in 1995. And presently, I'm the #1 world's expert in juicers and juice extraction of fruits and vegetables, and I do it regularly myself. You can see some of my juices I'll be drinking in this upcoming week or two right there. The other thing I'd like to say is that I have a YouTube channel, Discount Juicers, where I have over 800 videos, and I've educated millions about juicing, and have sold more juicers than anybody else in the world except for maybe 2 people, including my hero, Jay Cordich, formerly known as the Juice Man, who actually got me restarted into juicing. And then also, of course, Jack LaLanne. They both had infomercials, but my videos get more views about juicers than anybody else in the world. So this is me coming from a background of eating raw foods for, this is my 29th year, selling juicers for 26 years, the #1 juicer expert. And I'm telling you guys why I wouldn't do a 40-day juice fast. I'm not just going to say it. I'm going to give you guys the 10 reasons why you guys shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast. Now, the other thing I will say is, while I'm telling you guys not to do a 40-day juice fast, I'm not going to say juicing is hogwash. I educate people about juicers. I sell juicers, and juicing is an excellent, beneficial way to especially get more vegetables in you. So now really quick, I want to go over what I stand for and what I believe in. So if I'm telling you guys not to do a juice fast, what do you do instead? Well, in the end of this episode, I'll share with you guys more about that. But real quick, I want to get into what I do believe in, because I don't believe in 40-day juice fast for long-term health. That's why I got into a raw foods diet. That being said, I will agree that juicing is an excellent way to add more vegetables, especially leafy green vegetables in your diet. I believe that juicing should be added and should be part of a healthy, whole food, plant-based, minimally processed diet. I don't think it should take the place of a diet. I think that it is a perfect addition to a whole food, diverse, plant-based diet. Whether you kind of are trying to transition and get there, that's great. Whether you're already there, I think by consuming, especially the green juices, this is my green juices I'm drinking this week myself, so I can max out and amp up the amount of greens, because most people on a plant-based diet, or even just most Americans, don't eat enough greens and they don't eat enough vegetables. I believe that if you don't like vegetables and you juice them and that gets some vegetables into you, that's a good thing, right? Hey, if you're already eating plenty of vegetables and you love vegetables, I also believe that juicing is an excellent way to supplement your vegetable intake, because, here's the thing, guys. Every way you process a food, whether it's chewing it up into a mush, and most people don't chew their food good enough, swallowing it, right? That gives you certain benefits. Whether you steam vegetables, that gives you other benefits. Whether you juice them, remove some, but not all the fiber, that gives you different benefits. Or whether you vacuum blend them, removing the oxygen out of the blender container before you blend, that gives you additional benefits. However, I don't encourage you guys to do traditional blending, where you mix in significant amounts of oxygen and lower the oxygen-sensitive phytonutrients, as well as increase polyphenol oxidase that can actually lower the benefits in some of the things like berries, as proven by science. So while I believe that juicing vegetables are great, I do also juice some fruits in limited quantities. When you guys do juice fruits, my video link is down below. Don't juice fruits without ever doing this to make it more healthy. I believe that you should add vegetables into that fruit juice, so you're not just drinking straight fruit juice, because you want to add in more delicious goodness. And why do I think this? I think this because fruits just should be eaten whole. They're relatively easier to digest, a lot easier to digest than vegetables, especially leafy green vegetables. They're so delicious, and we want to get them with their full complement of undisturbed fiber when we chew them and swallow them. However, should you want to, do something with your fruits, I would recommend vacuum blending them. Once again, removing the oxygen, blending them, so you still get all the fiber, although it has been disturbed fiber, which, is totally an advanced topic. That being said, I don't encourage you guys to basically just juice fruits and drink fruit juice and think, oh, I'm going to be healthy because I'm drinking tons of fruit juice. Now, I know some of you guys out there might disagree with me, and that's all right. I'm sharing with you guys in this video what I believe in at this time. If you see my videos from 15 years ago, because I'm making videos now on YouTube for maybe 16 years now, or in my earlier days of my raw vegan career, I might say, yeah, fruit juice is the best, man. These days I will say that if fruit juice gets you off of eating something worse or drinking something worse, such as a soda, hey, fruit juice is great, but hey, take the fruit juice up to the next level by adding more vegetables into it. And one day, hopefully you'll get to the point like me where you basically drink vegetable juices that contain none or very little fruits. I have a lot of tips so you guys could juice vegetables and actually make it taste quite good and sweet. Of course, over the time you're juicing, your taste buds will acclimate to enjoy the taste of vegetables without the fruits. Two more points I want to make is that the reason why I believe juicing is so good because it allows you to eat more vegetables than you normally would otherwise. So like in my green juice, there's 4 pounds of vegetables, and I probably just for breakfast, I wouldn't eat 4 pounds of vegetables, but I would drink a quart of green juice that is quite delicious. Link down below for my video on how I make my green juice bulk juicing in the Nama J2 juicer. The other thing is when you juice your vegetables and you drink the juice, it takes less energy for your body to absorb. In addition, because things are in a liquid state, your body has an easier time to basically get those into your bloodstream, shuffle those into your cells, so it can have a greater health benefit and greater uptake in your blood than just eating the vegetables alone. So before I get into the 10 reasons why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast, I want to just remind you guys that, we've all heard the story of the fox and the hare, right? Basically, slow and steady wins the race. I've seen people transition to a plant-based diet and off of a plant-based diet into raw veganism, back to carnivore and all these crazy things. And when you go too extreme, right, your changes don't stick, right? And that's basically what I've seen. So I want you guys to be slow and steady and win the race and don't do one of these crazy 40-day juice fasts, which may work for some people, but for the majority of them, it won't. So let's get into my 10 reasons why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast. First reason is because it doesn't remove mucoid plaque. There are mucoid plaque deniers out there. I am not one of them. I've looked through the scientific literature and I've never seen any published studies on there being mucoid plaque that looks like these funky ropes of stuff coming at you, right? What I will say is that, when you take psyllium bentonite, it makes these things that may look like something weird, that's an alien coming at you, and they call that mucoid plaque. Well, that may pull some toxins out of you potentially, which I don't disagree with. There's not this whole mucoid plaque stuff in us that we want to get out. What I will say, based on the science, is that doing a juiced fast, right, can modulate, which means change your microbiome. For most people, it might be a change for the better, because if you're coming off eating junk food, processed foods, McDonald's, fast food, all these ultra-processed foods, and you go to a juice diet, right, because then at least you're giving your bacteria in your gut and your other beneficial microbes good things to eat, including polyphenols in the juices, including some soluble fiber that still remains in the juices. So it could improve many people's microbiome. That being said, the other thing I will say is that if you're already on a whole food plant-based diet and eating really healthfully, it will basically you're going to lose diversity of your microbiome because now you are literally restricting the foods you're eating. You're not eating beans now because you're only drinking juice. You're not eating whole vegetables and resistant starches and sweet potatoes and all these other foods that can be quite beneficial for health. Second reason why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast is because it won't make your weight disappear forever, right? I said that, right? Yes, people get weight loss on their juice fasts generally because it's easier for their body to digest and they're eating less calories or consuming less calories in juice form than in whole form, because it is more challenging to get calories when you are restricting yourself to juice. That being said, while you may have a temporary weight loss, and while some people, small amounts of people, keep the weight off because they adopt healthy changes, right? The majority of people, in my personal opinion and what I've observed over these many years, is that people will gain the weight back. And then they're doing this thing called weight cycling. They're going to cycle their weight. They're going to go on a juice fast. They're going to lose weight. They're going to feel, oh, I did good. And then they didn't learn how to eat healthy. They're just going to go back to eating the junk food, the processed food, the animal foods in excess, right? They're going to gain all the way back. Then they're going to think, oh, I gained weight back. I need to do another juice fast. And they're going to juice fast to lose the weight. And then you get trapped in this ever-ending weight cycling, going from, being too heavy to, losing weight to gaining it again. And it doesn't really teach you anything. And actually, weight cycling is one of the worst things you could do for your health. I mean, look no further. You could do a search for like 40-day juice fast or 30-day juice fast and see people that made videos about this and how they lost all this weight a year or 2 or 3 years ago, right? They're on YouTube. And then go watch some of those people's videos, their current videos that they put out. If you look at them, you're like, wow, looks like they didn't lose any weight at all because they've gained it all back, right? And then you look at what they're eating in their current videos, and they're just back to eating the standard American diet junk food stuff. So like juice fasting, I mean, yes, it was good at the time, but they gained all the way back, so it didn't get the lasting results that I know you guys want. Third reason why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast is because fruits and vegetables, they don't heal you or detox you. I'll say that again. Fruits and vegetables don't heal you or detox you, despite what you may be hearing online. Yes, we have, organs in our body such as our kidneys and liver that do, in fact, help detoxify us, right? Built into us, right? Now, yes, I will agree that maybe some nutrients in, especially the vegetables, especially cruciferous vegetables, may help your liver to get into phase 2 detoxification, right? Maybe fruits not as much. That being said, fruits and vegetables are full of different nutrients that can help support our body so our body can heal itself. What I've learned over all these years is that our body will heal itself when we get out of the way. When you're cramming down junk food down your pie hole, right, and you're sleeping every night, your body's trying to basically do all the house cleaning and heal itself, but it can't because you're just clogging up the system with junk food. It's like an overflowing sink. Instead of like fixing where it's clogged up, you're just sweeping all the, water off the floor to deal with that. But at least when you guys juice fast, right, there's nothing probably better than juice fasting, because now you're giving your body juice, so it takes very little energy for your body to digest, plus you're flooding your body, hopefully, if you're using the right juice recipes, with different kinds of phytonutrients, so that your body can have the tools and the minerals and the enzymes it needs to heal. So I want you guys to remember that. And whether you guys just go for all juice fast or even just drink a juice a day or even eat high amounts of fruits and vegetables, your body will also heal itself and detoxify. Fourth reason why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast, in my opinion, a 40-day juice fast is a quick fix. It's like, oh, if I got a headache, I'm taking an aspirin or a Tylenol for a headache. Now, does the aspirin or Tylenol make your headache go away or, remove the source of the headache? No, it doesn't. It's a temporary fix so that you don't feel your head hurting, and so you don't feel it, so you're more comfortable, right? And to me, a 40-day juice fast is like that as well. You're kind of band-aiding the situation of eating the junk food, the processed foods, the animal foods in excess that you've been doing your whole life to gain the weight, and now you're doing this 40-day juice fast to lose the weight. But the problem is, when you're done with the juice fast, you've gotten the results like taking the aspirin, but then when you're done, you're like, oh, you didn't learn how to eat healthfully, and then you gain all the way back because you're probably going to go back to doing what you were doing before you did a juice fast. This is a temporary band-aid fix and doesn't teach you guys anything about long-term health or making the proper dietary changes, getting rid of the processed foods, the junk foods, and not being so dogmatic about what you're eating. The fifth reason why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast is because in most cases, juice fasts will recommend that you guys drink several quarts of fruit juice. For example, one 40-day juice fast recommends that you drink 3 quarts of basically straight fruit juice every single day. When I calculated that, there's over 240 grams of sugar in 3 quarts of juice. And actually, even then, that's more sugar than what is in 3 quarts of just Coke, right? Now, yes, I agree that fruit sugar, not the same as extracted white sugar, but nonetheless, sugar from the fruit in a juice in excess, right? 3 quarts a day seems quite excessive to me. You're removing some of the fiber, especially if you're juicing pineapples, you're keeping only 10% of the soluble fiber. You're removing 90% of the fiber when you guys drink pineapple juice, which is recommended in some, juice fasts. I don't recommend that. I don't think it's healthy. I believe that when you guys eat your fruits, you should have it with the fiber. Eat them whole, vacuum blend them, or if you do want to juice them, right, juice at least 50% vegetables in there, so at least you get higher percentages of fiber. 6th reason why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast is because it significantly restricts your diet to only fruits and vegetables that can be juiced. And even then, right, it's only fruits and vegetables that are in the recipes that are being recommended to you, which now even narrows that even finer. And then even like some of those vegetables and fruits may not even be available at your local grocery store or health food store or farmer's market. So then you're going to restrict and eat even less of a diversity, right? Microbiome experts say that we should have 30 different kinds of plant foods in a week. I mean, really good microbiome experts will say 40 or more different kinds of plant foods in a week. But even at 30, you're getting just a pittance of that when you guys are on a limited fruit and vegetable juice fast, and that will significantly reduce the amount of different nutrients that you can get into, because every fruit and vegetable has different kinds of vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. In addition, each kind of fruit or vegetable have different kinds of fiber, right? Both soluble and insoluble. And once again, juicing, you're selecting for the soluble fiber, and depending on your juicer, you may keep more or less soluble fiber. So for your microbiome health and for your overall nutrition, right, I would encourage you guys to, eat a diversity. 7th reason why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast is because a 40-day juice fast will train your digestive system to basically extract nutrients from the fruits and vegetables without their fiber, right? Now, while people say, oh, this gives your digestive system a break, me, on the other hand, I'm going to look at this the other way and say pretty much you're eating really fiber deficient diet. I mean, yes, if you were a carnivore, then you'd actually have even less fiber than juices would provide you. But fresh juices are going to provide you a small percentage of fiber, especially depending on the vegetables you choose. Maybe if you choose the right vegetables and fruits, you could still get 50% of the fiber out of the fruits and vegetables. Unfortunately, most people are not doing that. So you're literally restricting your fiber. And when you drink juices for 40 days and you go to eat the first morsel of food after 40 days, you get a stomach ache, right? And if you do it incorrectly and you refeed improperly, you could even die, which has happened at, different juice fasting retreats in the past, right? Refeeding is critical, and so many people have problems when they're refeeding because you're training your body. It's like if you go to the gym, you only lift a 5-pound weight and you curl it. You can do 5 pounds, but then you go in there one day with your buddy and your buddy's doing 30 pounds. You're like, I could be like my buddy and do 30 pounds. You do 30 pounds and now you strain your muscle, right? And you get hurt, right? So I don't recommend you guys go off eating solid food for 40 days straight, because it trains your gut and your microbes in your gut not to be able to digest food. If you're in the hospital and you're on bed rest, right, for 2 weeks, like my dad was maybe last year, right, you lose a lot of muscle strength because you're not moving your muscles, right? So I want you guys not to do a 40-day juice fast. 8th reason why I don't want you guys to do a 40-day juice fast is because it can get expensive. Not only are you now buying copious amounts of fruits and vegetables, which actually I do anyways, but more importantly, most of you guys aren't using super efficient juicers, so you're maybe only getting 50 to 60% of the nutrients out of the produce, and you're sending a lot of wet pulp down the drain. So this is going to actually increase your food costs. In addition, if you're trying to buy organic fruits and vegetables, they're even more expensive than conventional fruits and vegetables, as compared to other plant foods that actually be quite inexpensive, right? And then let's not even forget about, if you go on a 40-day juice fast, you probably should have a coach or some kind of program to do it, and those programs to do a, juice fasting program or something, they charge lots of money for these programs, right? So save your guys' money. Don't do a 40-day juice fast. Ninth reason why I don't want you guys to do a 40-day juice fast is because it can lead to physical or emotional harm. Yes, I said it. It can lead to physical or emotional harm. Physical harm, what physical harm could you get? Well, there are people that have lost their life at juice fasting retreats for various reasons. You could have issues with refeeding. You could become nutrient deficient. You could become mineral deficient. You could become fiber deficient and mess up your microbiome due to the strict restrictions depending on what you're juicing and your current microbiome before you start the juice fast. But more importantly than just the physical, which may happen or probably won't, in some cases, in my opinion, you are more susceptible to emotional or mental harm due to the juice fast and the wording that is used around it, right? So like you could think, oh, I got to detox and I'm toxic and I got to cleanse and all these things. And that, makes you kind of like lead you believe down this whole dark rabbit hole of like eating clean versus not eating clean, which could get into disordered style eating in some cases. There have been published studies on how juice fasting could be considered an eating disorder. I don't know that I'd go that far, but it's something to be aware about, especially if you already have had or have struggled with an eating disorder in the past. 10th reason why I don't want you guys to do a 40-day juice fast is because there are no published studies showing that a 40-day juice fast will clear or reverse all your different diseases like some people who promote 40-day juice fasts will claim, right? There is definitely science in the literature talking about how water fasting, medically supervised, right, can heal and reverse many different diseases, but there's no such published studies on 40-day juice fasting in the medical literature. If you guys do want to do a long water fast, I only encourage you guys to do one that is medically supervised, and in the US, the best place to do that is the True North Health Center in Santa Rosa, California. I will say that there are plenty of published studies on how drinking fresh juice, including fresh fruit juice, instead of soda is definitely beneficial. There are also studies showing that, short 3-day juice fasts can modulate your microbiome, help you lose weight, and even keep the weight off. So I want you guys to be more safe than sorry and do something that is more time proven. All right, so that's it for my 10 reasons on why you shouldn't do a 40-day juice fast. And I know a lot of you guys are just kind of scratching your head now. John, I was going to do a 40-day juice fast and I want to start eating healthier and lose weight and get healthier. What do I do now instead of a 40-day juice fast? Well, I think instead of a 40-day juice fast, an excellent thing to do would be like I recommend to you guys on my channel why you shouldn't do a juice fast. Link on my Discount Juicer channel where I talk about watch this video before you do a juice fast, right? I believe that you guys should drink at least one fresh juice a day, maybe even 2, right? When I got into my dietary changes, I drank 1 juice for breakfast, ate my normal lunch, and then had 1 juice in the afternoon as a mid-afternoon snack and had my normal dinner. Over time, my taste buds started changing and I started liking the vegetables more because I started drinking their juices. Then I started adding more salads, getting into eating more raw, fresh fruits and vegetables in my diet, right? Learning new recipes to include more plant foods in my diet. I believe this is a much more sustainable way to get into juicing and get the weight loss benefits you want and keep it off. I mean, the fact of the matter is, if you guys stop eating your bacon or even cereal or junk food, Pop-Tarts or donuts for breakfast and you start juicing just for that one meal, that's a huge benefit because you're consuming less calories, you're consuming more nutrition, right? You're not consuming all the stuff that'll clog you up for just one meal. It's so much easier to do that and be sustainable over the long run. I want you guys to drink a juice 1 a day for the next upcoming week, right? You guys can do it. Whether you guys want to buy the Nama J2 juicer, the juicer I use to make all these juices and do big batch juicing, right? Link down below my videos on how I make a batch of root juice, a batch of green juice, my batch juicing 101 episode, so you guys can learn all about the best produce items to batch juice. You could spend 1 hour on a weekend day to make 7 quarts of juice, so you could drink 1 quart a day, right? That'll make a more significant change if you keep that up for a year, right? Regularly drinking 1 juice a day, even if you're still on your processed junk food diet. But the goal is, right, once you start drinking 1 juice a day, then hey, work up to drinking 2 juices a day. Now you're offsetting more of the junk foods you're eating, right? move towards a whole food plant-based diet, eating fruit as a meal, eating salads as a meal instead of a snack or a side dish, right? Eating more plant-based, raw, and living foods whenever possible. Even some heat processed foods like I share with you guys in my videos. And you're gonna be on a more sustainable track for long-term weight loss and better health in the long run. I've been to the School of Hard Knocks. I've done a lot of things that I probably wouldn't repeat again, and that's why I make these videos for you guys, to share with you guys my expertise since I have been doing this long, but also what I've observed when other people will go on a juice fast and lose all this weight. And I've seen their pants before and I've seen them after they lose all the weight, which is great. Then I check in with them 5 years later and they basically gained a significant portion of that weight back again. And I don't want that to happen to you. Slow and steady wins the race. So besides drinking 1 or 2 juices a day, I also encourage you guys to make vacuum blended smoothies. If you guys want to, eat more fruits instead of juicing the fruits, I recommend you guys doing vacuum blending and making vacuum blended smoothies. Include some greens in there or just have fruit smoothies. If you want, eat your fruits whole is another thing I recommend. And of course, eating plenty of other whole food plants in your diet so that you guys could get healthier. My goal for you guys is to basically slowly but surely replace and crowd out the junk food, the processed foods that you guys are eating with healthier alternatives. And you guys aren't gonna be perfect, right? I don't encourage you guys to go 100% or nothing, because if you go 100% hardcore, right, you're not gonna really learn and get the changes you need. Now, yes, for some people it may be good to go hardcore and you'll never go back, but for the most people I see, that just doesn't work. So I want you guys to be successful in the long run. That's why I'm so passionate about this topic. Now, my final tips before I sign off for today is I want you guys to, eat a variety and diversity of many different plant foods, right? I recommend over 40 different types of plants in a week. Number 1. Number 2, I also recommend, which you won't hear this pretty much anywhere else, I also recommend you guys to process them in the best ways possible to maximize their benefit for us. So what do I mean by processing them in different ways? So I mean, right, once again, if you juice some of your vegetables, right, that's great because now you're gonna uptake different nutrients and get, a concentration of different nutrients in your bloodstream more than just eating them raw. That being said, eating them raw can be great because we wanna use our jaws, chew our food up into mush, and then swallow that food, right? So we get the best digestion that way because that's kind of what our body is used to. You also want to do a vacuum blended smoothie so you can keep all the fiber, yet the fiber is more disturbed than if you just chewed it yourself, more broken up. That could be a pro, that could be a con. You want to do that as well. And then even I recommend, heat processing, gentle heat processing. I only recommend cooking in an Instant Pot or boiling or steaming. If you don't have an Instant Pot, I do not recommend baking, frying, or microwaving your food or barbecuing your food. Even worse, it can create a significant amount of toxins in your food. But by basically steaming your food in an Instant Pot, right, you could actually get more nutrition and absorb more of certain nutrients than others. Of course, all these preparation methods have their own sets of pros and cons, and that's why I want you guys to do all of them and see which one feels right or best for you based on where you are at. Final thing I want to say is if you guys aren't already juicing and drinking 1 juice a day, I want you guys to get started right now. Whether you guys want to make 1 juice a day or whether you guys want to do batch juicing, the juicer I recommend for that is the Nama J2 juicer. It's my favorite juicer because you could load up this hopper with produce, shut the lid, turn it on, walk away. 2 to 5 minutes later, you're going to come back to a full glass of juice without you having to sit over the juicer, push each item into the machine. Or like me, if you want to batch juice, right? Just the other day I made 14 quarts of juice in the Nama J2 juicer, including both these, the yellow juice and the green juice here in the Nama J2, and I stored them under vacuum, right? Link down below in my video on Batch Juicing 101 where I share all my secrets. So you guys could make lots of juice at one time, so you could just pull one out of the fridge every day or 2 and drink it like I do. I believe this is a much more sustainable way to get juice in you and get the long-term health benefits of juicing and removing different processed food, junk food, ultra-processed foods, and animal foods out of your diet and getting more fresh fruits and vegetables and other plant foods in. So if you guys are ready to buy the Nama J2, you could use the coupon code every day to save $55 off the Nama J2. Nama has free shipping in the continental 48 United States, as well as most of the European Union at this time. And of course, the machine comes with a full 15-year warranty, so this is the last juicer you will need to buy. Now, when you guys do use that coupon code NAML, share with me a small commission so I can continue to make my educational videos for you guys, buy my produce, pay my utility bills for my lighting, and of course, pay my amazing video editor. So thank you for those of you guys who will support me. Now, if you guys enjoyed this episode about why I don't recommend doing a 40-day juice fast, hey, please be sure to give this a big thumbs up. More importantly, share this with other people that need to hear the message about not being too extreme when getting into a raw vegan diet. You don't need to do a juice fast to start off your raw vegan diet. You can just start eating more fruits and vegetables and drinking fresh fruit and vegetable juices, and slowly but surely crowd out all the processed food, junk foods, and heat processed foods in excess so that you could start eating healthier. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss my new upcoming episodes. I'll be coming out every 5 to 7 days. You never know what'll show up or what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel to encourage you guys to eat more fruits and vegetables and eat healthier to take your health to the next level. Make sure you click the little bell to get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. The past episodes are wealth of knowledge. Over 800 episodes at this time on this channel dedicated to teach you guys what I've learned about living a raw vegan diet and eating as healthily plant-based as possible. So with that, my name is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time. Until then, remember, keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables and drinking your juices. They're always the best.